Hello everyone, I hope you're well. Oh, interesting. We've got a card from the other deck in this, and I feel it's very relevant to the case that I'm going to read on today. So you've probably seen from the thumbnail, it's Suzanne Morphew. And I'm going to go through the timeline and just tell you what I know. Now, we know a lot. I believe a lot of people know a lot. I've not read on this before, but I am reading on it for reasons. So I'm not just going to repeat what everyone's suspecting, what's likely to be the outcome, etc. Although I do want to say that the prosecutor, the defense, might have some strong points in certain things, because I feel like, and it might be proven, so those of you that are following this reading, or this case, sorry, not this reading, will know. So tune in, because I'm going to tap into probably some things to see if there's anything else coming up. There's certain things that I felt, and I'm going to share those. And also, if you're following all my content as opposed to one particular content, let me know in the comments. And look out for another reading I'm going to do. It's not out in the public, but somehow I landed on a trial day for this case. I had no clue what I'm watching. It was all over the place, but I think I've grasped the outline of it, and I want to do a reading on it. And depending on how the case goes, I might do follow-up readings as we go along, because I can't believe that it's not in the media enough, unless it comes into the media as trials go on. It's like I've not seen it in the media. So, and I feel really called to do this reading, even though it's not popular at this moment in time. So look out for that. It'll probably be a name you've not heard of, or by the time I get to it, if there's suddenly media, something that's put in the media for it. But it's to do with a kid again. But let's get into this. Why do I say that? Is because I feel here with this, why do I say this card is strange to be here? Obviously it's come from, you know, me putting my decks back and doing readings. I don't just do readings for YouTube. Obviously I've got clients. Is because I think there was some ego in this, in Suzanne's case. Now I just want to go through the timeline, because if anyone's not totally familiar with the timeline, let's put it in context. And I've just pulled this up from Google, and as I go along I'm going to tell you exactly what I know. So how I'd heard of it obviously later in maybe last week, where there was about there was, you know, the autopsy of Suzanne's remains has come back, and there's 3 sort of animal tranquilizers in it. Together it's BAM, so something beginning with B, something beginning with A, something beginning with M. Now, the cause of death is not actually announced, and some might say, well, obviously that could kill you, but the cause of death is not actually announced yet. So let's just go through the timeline. It's more than 3 years since the disappearance of Colorado mom Suzanne Morphew. There have been several developments in the case, including the arrest of her husband, and then subsequent dismissal of charges against Barrymorphew in her death. So this is for entertainment purposes only. Please use your own fact finding. I'm actually reading this off cbsnews.com. And the article is on the 27th of September 2023. So I'm just pulling it up to get a timeline. May 10 is when Suzanne was last seen alive. She left behind 2 daughters that were teenagers at the time, and her husband. Her bicycle was found down in steep ravine off Chaffee County Road 225 from the Highway 50. Deputies documented the bicycle did not look like it was involved in a crash, or there was no blood to be recovered from the scene. On the May 14th, 4 days after 2020, the reward was offered for $200,000 in the search of Suzanne Morphew. I presume that might have been from her husband. What I'm stating here is from CBS News. I am not reading on this yet. In 22, so this is 12 days later, the FBI, CBI and Sheffield County Sheriff's Office sifted through dirt of one of barrymorphew's job sites in Salida. So I'm going through this because even those of you that are familiar with the case, the timeline helps you come back into sort of pinpoints. June 10th, so the following month exactly, dozens of members of law enforcement conducted a community canvass in Sheffield County for her search. On the 24th of September, her brother organised a 5-day search of the mountainous area where she was last seen. I presume that's where the bike was found, because obviously what I understand is that that morning Barry left for work, and it was said that she left really early for a bike ride. I don't think that is the case, but this is what the story's saying. September 25th, the vigil was planned for Suzanne at Riverside Park and Salida. Sorry if I don't say that right. October 7, 2020, Barry speaks to CBS News, shares photos, and he shares a theory that she could be abducted. May 5th, 2021, so nearly a year later, he's arrested on charges of murder and deliberation of tampering physical evidence and attempting to influence public. In December 2021, the judge assigned to preside over the case removed himself after defense attorneys raised questions about the conflict of interest. February 2022, so this is the following year, not quite a year of him being arrested, the murder trial was moved to Sheffield County, from Sheffield County to Fremont County, because the size of the community and persuasive negative pre-trial publicity since her disappearance, they couldn't feel that a fair trial could take place in Sheffield County, and it seemed like it was a very high-profile case for a small county with a small jury. The media must have been really, really high. March 1, 2022, Barry's lawyers asked for a dismissal after they received an internal affairs document surrounding Colorado Bureau of Investigation in charge of, there's a name here, I'm not going to say it, in court filing. In April, so just under a year after his arrest, it was dismissed against, the case was dismissed against Barry, so I guess he was freed at that date. Her remains were located during the course of a search of Moffat in a county on an investigation not related to her. So they were looking for someone else, and they found her remains in September 2023. She went missing May 2021, so that's under 2 years. 27th of September, so they did a fast turnaround to announce that it identified her. And I think it was just last week the autopsy came out. So it's been a while. They've taken a while for this autopsy. Now, I would presume that Barry was arrested without prejudice, so he can be arrested again. But what that means is that when they do arrest him, they're going to have to be more or less 100% sure this time. What I also understand is that they live in a very big house, more or less in the, so it'd probably be for people that are not familiar with the area, or maybe like me from the UK or another country, in a bit of a wilderness area. So there are sort of the desert or wildlife animals or mountainous animals there that could come by. I think Barry used to hunt deers, so he has those tranquilizers. I think when there's tranquilizers shot in animals, you can also have a reversal, so that's something interesting. But what would be his motive? And how I came to know this case is like a couple of years ago. The first clip I'd seen is a couple of minutes of Barry, if I remember this rightly, Barry sat and there's the two girls on either side, brown hair, beautiful girls. One of them, her energy spoke to me that she was so at unease, I feel she knows it's her father. The other one, not so much. And for me, I am getting that one could be closer to the father and one might have been closer to Suzanne. So I 100% know that, I believe that 2 or 3 people know he did it. I feel this daughter, whether he said it indirectly or directly, knows from that time I saw her in that interview for a couple of minutes. I haven't rewatched it. It just really stuck with me, and that's why I pulled to do this reading as well. Although I haven't been following it, that she knew. I don't know their names. I think they're just 2 girls, or we just read it's 2 daughters. One of them knows it's her father. Whether he said it directly or indirectly or whatever, she knows. The other, not so much, and maybe she's just completely not something that could ever cross her mind, even if it's stated. Like, when I say denial, it's not like she has it black and white in front of her and she's denying it. No, it's just something that would never enter her mind. But then as 2 girls, often with siblings, they do talk. So I wonder how that's what I'm getting psychically with this. So May 10th is when they say she was last seen. Like, she got up at 6 a.m. and she went for the bike ride. She never returned. Barry was out. But I want to go back to see the energy on the May 9th. I also feel like money was important to both of them. Obviously, where they lived could have been a very well-off place. I think it might have been quite a big place. I feel like they probably lived a great life. And I might do follow-up readings on this, because I think I feel like there might be little hints of things that have been said that might just give indication something is a bit weird, and that they might have had the right person in the first place. But I also think there is another, at least one person who knows. And it's going to be interesting when it goes back to trial, how it's going to go, in what form. But I think the daughters might have to speak, and so what's going to happen then? Could there be someone from his family that knows? Could there be a female that has an indication? Okay, so let's just check now let me just check let's get Suzanne's overall energy in the past couple of years before she passed away. Oh, I also know that she had suffered from cancer and she was having chemo or just finishing chemo. The reason I say that is because I feel like she was just waiting I haven't got into the cards, but I feel like she was just waiting. Let's get to the marriage question and then I'll say. So Suzanne's energy in the last 2 years of her life. Six of Cups, Six of Swords, Two of Wands. It might have come up right, but in my hand it's reversed, so I'm going to take it as I've placed it. And the Lovers in reverse. Well, that doesn't look very good, does it? The last couple of years, so it might have been, I'm going for the last couple of years before her demise or her basically end. She wasn't really, I think she was really juggling two strong decisions. A decision to stay and a decision to leave. The staying felt like it was just not making her happy anymore. But this is what I was going to say. She was staying because I think she wanted to finish her chemo, get on her feet, make sure the girls are at an age where, you know, they're not going to be affected. And she wanted to move away peacefully. The Lovers in reverse is also here. We're talking about, obviously we've got lovers, right? And just, I feel like she felt her marriage was failing, or it was failing, and she needed to take two decisions, and she couldn't see clearly the future for her. The Two of Wands is really trying to move forward, but here when we've got it like this, with this story, with this case, I feel like there's sort of trouble and fear, and that's what's been holding her back and then wanting to go forward. Now, I also get she might have, I wonder if either of them had, were not totally faithful in the marriage. So I think there was something that she might have texted someone, a guy or something. And I wonder if he had a previous, if he had not been, if he had previous an extra relationship, or just that, you know, there wasn't that, what is the word I'm looking for? So I think there was talking to other parties during this marriage. Look, Page of Cups to confirm, and I think it happened from both sides. I also feel like she feels like she had a missed opportunity looking back to her teenage or her college years, where she could have maybe picked a different lover to marry or to get with, and she ended up, you know, getting married to Barry. And I believe she was very happy at that time. I feel like he could be someone that was really popular, really known, seen as being very successful, probably someone who's in the baseball or rugby team, that's like football in your the US. Tell me a little bit more on her energy in the last 2 years overall. Home was a focus. Yeah, there was a lot of toxicity here, a bit of codependence. So I wonder if there was some ultimatums in terms of maybe did he had an inkling that she wanted to leave? I feel like there was obsessive thoughts. She was also trying to be patient around the home. During these 2 years, there was something to celebrate around the home. Did they move home within 2 years? The 2 years prior to her unaliving. So we're talking 2018, 2019. Yeah, 2018 until 2021. Did they move home? So was that a new home for them? this to me confirms there was movement. And then we've got the Hangman, and then there's a stagnation. And I think she did have an epiphany in terms of her moving forward. Her children were her focus. I think here we can see that there's children, and this is also interesting. We've got the Emperor here, and we've got a King of Pentacles. So I do think that she was talking to someone. Page of Swords. A lot of online communication with this person, I think. So I don't know if they lived in the area. I feel like one of the children was picking up on these messages as well, or just had an inkling. Did she also message that person? I'm not talking about the day, I'm talking anything 2 years until the day, until May 10th. There was a lot of confusion, and I do feel when I see these cards, there could have been like a bit of alcohol or, you know, substance, but I think it's alcohol. But you know, that's just something, a bit of confusion, really wanting to move forward into a new chapter, yet was holding on for a bit, but started to get quite passionate about life and was lacking the love of where she was. I do think she started to communicate on wanting the new chapter, because the current one she's in is very heavy, burdensome for her. But there's a lot of fear. And not able to move forward, and there's a Tower moment. Okay, so that's the overall energy I get for her, which is very much to what I was getting psychically. Knight of Wands could also be that extra sort of passion of branching out from the relationship. So they did have problems prior, some problems prior. I mean, it'd be interesting to see if they said she had problems, if they had problems within the last couple of years. They always had problems. I mean, they must have been married at least. So the daughters, I think one would be around 16 or something like that. It's difficult to say, because, you know, people, teens now at like even 13, they're looking like the teens in my days of around 17, you know, because they're all dressed up and stuff like that, looking after themselves. But I think it's fair to say that you're looking at maybe, and I don't think there's a big time space between them. So I think the youngest probably 16 or 15, something like that. One of them might be a couple of years older, but I really recall that interview, and I mean, I think if I YouTube it and look at it again, we can pinpoint. Okay, so let's go to now, considering hopefully I've got space, let's go to now Barry's energy in the last 2 years of the marriage, before her leaving, or before what happened, sorry. Barry's energy. That was the last one. We're going to do it in order. We have this again. Look, the ego. In Suzanne's, this was reversed. Fear to move forward. I don't know why I'm getting an energy of the actual day as well, and for some reason, without even spirits must have said, because intuitively I just did that while I was talking, the High Priestess, secrets, okay? Now with the Hierophant here, I do think he was quite stubborn, he was quite rigid. Maybe he could have been a bit controlling. He just sees himself, the Emperor is like someone who's very successful in life. He wouldn't be the worker, he'd be the leader. Definitely a lot of pentacles here, so I think he earns quite a bit. The King of Cups tells me he did have love for Suzanne. I think there was a wanting of a new chapter here. I do see that he felt a bit betrayed. Maybe it's because of feeling Suzanne's giving her love somewhere else, because we've got the Queen of Cups here and the Ace of Cups, and obviously his ego got in the way here a few times, and I don't know why I'm seeing this as an apology to move forward. Now what's sticking out here is that we've got the Hierophant, and I don't, is Suzanne a Taurus? She could have strong Taurus placements, where there was a lack of balance. If so, there's a lack of balance in their relationship. There was a lack of understanding, a lack of balance. And I feel that he also felt at some times that when she started maybe pulling away after she started getting better, that made him really feel really, really weak in the relationship. Now I just want to get a card. So he was unsatisfied with something as well in the relationship. And I wonder if he also had a legal case around some monies that made him feel unsatisfied. Let's go on to, I do think there's a third party that knows more. Let's read on the 9th of May. So to me, I think finances, a certain lifestyle level is important to the both. I don't know if Suzanne was well off as well. I mean, I think he was in construction and where they live seems well off. So was she from a well-off family as well, or was it through her marriage? That's something that I don't know, but I feel like money was important to her as well. I do think a lot of this is, there is money here as well. Okay, let's see Suzanne Morphew on the 9th, please, of May 2021. Ninth of May 2021, please, Suzanne. And who was involved and who was present, if anything? Two more cards, please. Suzanne on the 9th of May. Suzanne on the 9th of May. way. Okay. Okay. Page of Cups at the bottom of the deck. Someone was wanting to move forward. The Strength in reverse really stands out to me and concerns me for some reason in this reading. I feel like it's abuse of power, and I feel like it comes from actual internal weakness, but there's abuse of power here. Justice, again, this card strikes me. I don't know if someone is of significance, Libra energy, but there's a difficult, challenging decision to be made here. And I think she found herself in the marriage and the home a heavy burden. This is her when she wasn't she's not well, you know, doing the chemo. I think she was overcoming it, and maybe she'd overcome it. And again, looking forward for that new chapter because she'd been patient. Yeah, so this is what I was going to say about this one. I think she did have a love interest. We're back to these cards again. And there's the heartbreak. So I wonder if this person she's speaking to is actually from the past, and there might have been a bit of heartbreak, but wanting to peacefully move, and I think towards this person. She'd been patient quite enough and waiting quite enough, long enough. But on that day, there's something new here and wanting to move. That's it. Move forward, or waiting on, there's the energy, this could be Barry as well, waiting on a precise moment to act and move forward. There's two cards I want to pull on here. The reason being is because obviously I want to pull on this one, and I'll explain why. I want to pull on this one, and I also want to pull on a couple of others because I feel like there's more to come of this. These two cards concern me a bit. A heavy burden of sort of deception is on that page. There's a plan, and there's also a bit of bad faith on that page, on that day. It's interesting I say on that page. So I wonder if there was getting some research out of a book on something. Let's just pull on this Justice card. Yep, some lies, deceit, hidden truths. On the 9th of May, it could be from Barry, it could be from her. So if she was texting someone, that could be that. But also this could be a hidden plan in place. The 10 of Wands, please, Spirit. Yep, I've got all the resources to make what I want come to fruition. This could also be manipulation. There's a heavy burden at the home. There's a heavy burden here. This is, yeah, I'm not, let's get the 9 of Pentacles in reverse. We get the Lovers. So where there's a bad faith, where there's a, this with the 9 of Wands in reverse, where there's a bad faith here, and also take the Knight of Wands, not a problem. The Lovers upright here is about choices. And obviously it's about those two because they're lovers. But also here, not feeling good, feeling the void, bad faith around love. So I wonder if she was feeling fearful on that day. I want to pull on the 3 of Wands, please, Spirit. 9 of Cups in reverse. Similar to the 9 of Pentacles, the 9 of Cups, though, is really, In reverse, it's not a good thing either. You're not feeling yourself. There's imperfections. You know, you could be feeling you can't really move forward in a victorious way. I feel like you don't feel so free to move forward here. This could also mean that something happened at a restaurant or a cafe to try and start a new chapter to work on things. So maybe they had a date night, but it didn't go well. Let me just say again what I'm pulling on. Sorry, I just put these back. 7 of Pentacles, please, Spirit. Wheel of Fortune, 9 of Wands. Being on guard, being defensive. The Wheel of Fortune, whatever was going, hoping, someone's hoping to work on something and the wheel changes. Pull a card on this. Knight of Cups. So there could have been like wanting to work on the marriage, but look, somebody wants to walk away. So I wonder if they also had a date night or something to make things right, or a date that day. There's a change in the wheel, so whatever it is, this to me also shows a strong energy of Taurus, Leo, Aquarius and Scorpio. Someone's very much on defense though, and the 10 of Cups, it could be at the home as well. Really wanting also to bring that 10 of Cups into balance. Let's get the 2 of Swords, please, Spirit. The 2 of Swords. Secrets on a difficult decision to be made around the Emperor. So this could be her towards the marriage and Barry. Okay, around that difficult decision where she's no longer wanting to be here. This could also be Barry having a secret and challenging decision, but he's got a choice here of what to do. 3 more cards for the 9th of May. 3 more cards for 9th of May. Hermit in reverse, 3 of Pentacles in reverse. The King of Wands fell out fast. I did mention that I would consider the Knight of Wands in reverse, which we got here, if you remember. So I just want to elaborate on that. I think we got it with the Lovers. The lack of passion there. I think she just didn't feel that passion, or someone. I'm just going basis on that. We know a little bit about this, but this, you know, it's about division, it's interruption, it's a split between them. The King of Wands is someone who's really passionate, who's just really a go-getter to go after what they want. And I'm reminded of the Magician here. The Hermit in reverse could mean we've got a strong Virgo, but for me this could mean something happened at night. Someone should have taken a step back to think of things properly when I see the Hermit. But there's fear, and there's disguised, and there's sort of unreasoned caution, okay? So this is concerning now. And then we've got the 3 of Pentacles. And the 3 of Pentacles is really about, this is where you've got the weakness, pettiness. Usually you've called on sort of teamwork makes the dream work. But there's a lack of teamwork here. So I think someone really didn't want to move forward in the relationship. I split the deck and I get the Tower. I split the deck and I get the Knight of Wands in reverse again. We've got the Queen of Wands in reverse. And just to show you they're not all in reverse, okay? So the Knight of Wands in reverse, whereas the, you know, which I just did explain as well. Let's put it upright, put the deck back. Let me just check the time. And we'll do the 10th. But, and then I want to go back onto a little bit more into detail of motive and reasoning. Really, really get into the detail. Was there a solid affair happening? Was there communication? because I want to process this and get it uploaded for you. I really want to read on that case, that how I landed in that trial, honestly. For some of you, you know, if you're watching a lot of trials, or just in case you start to hear about it, should I say, give you a keyword? I'll give you a keyword: treadmill. Treadmill. I'm not going to say more, but it won't be something that's popular. It's not going to be a Sebastian one. At the moment, it's not something that's going to necessarily win on views and stuff, but I want to give this boy a voice. So let me just check my camera. Maybe we need to do a part 2. Yeah, I'm going to end it here, and then we'll go on to the 10th. And some of the things that I've psychically picked up on, we'll ask some questions around that as well. So let's leave it there. Take care, everyone. Stay blessed.